is I wind up teaching the class in the same exact room that I took the bar exam in.
Oh, man.
It's kind of ironic.
That is,
right?
yes.
So I love it. I have a really good time. Great
Yes.
place, great people. Yeah, people in Tampa are just super nice. Can't wait to see everybody this week. We haven't been there for a while due to COVID, so I am so looking forward to seeing everybody.
Awesome. So, when the legislature ended their session, they didn't do anything about condo safety, right?
They did nothing. That's correct.
And so I actually, at your behest, called our representative, Daniel Perez. He's in Miami. He's the one that made sure that the House never even voted on any kind of bill, like your education bill or a condo safety bill. And I asked, what the heck? Why didn't this go forward? Well, starting tomorrow, there's a special session. But the special session is not to address condo safety.
Amazing.
It's about redistricting. We've got an add-a seat because everyone's moving to Florida.
Right, exactly.
So I spoke with Mr. Perez finally, and I said, hey, I've been trying to call you and ask on, Eric Glazer's behest, what happened to the condo safety bill? So here is part of my interview, just brief little synopsis.
Specific to the condo reform or the Surfside package, that's still a work in progress. Senator Bradley and I are still talking about it and trying to get to a place where we have some policy that's palatable in both chambers.
Yeah, because the Senate passed it with unanimous.
38-0, they passed one bill.
And it doesn't even go to the House. So, by the way, Daniel Perez will be the Speaker of the House, I think, in 24.
Exactly, right.
So, so they've got to add a seat in this upcoming special session for redistricting. And I said, what about the possibility of a property insurance or condo safety special session extension? And this is what he said.
The one issue that is most sticking out from there being a deal is the requirement for reserves and the inability to waive reserves.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Look, the bottom line is, though, they gave up with 2 full days to go, and they could have what they could have. You know what I love doing? I love being a mediator. As you know, I not only litigate
and you're good at it.
cases, but I love mediating. It's when I get a case, help parties get a case done. To me, it's I did a good deed that day. But so he's saying they're apart on a couple of things. So freaking what? So they're apart on a couple of things. The bottom line is they could have taken piecemeal votes on what they did agree upon. Instead, he kept it all or nothing.
Right.
For example, Dade and Broward are still the only counties in the entire state that require building inspections.
Well, the hope says Tequesta building that was deemed completely unsafe. 55 people had to move out.
It's amazing.
That's Palm Beach. No, that's Martin County, right?
Don't even know. But the bottom line is the only counties that require the 40-year certification, let's say, is Dade and Broward. So the Senate passes a bill 38-0 that basically says, okay, now that applies to all counties in the state of Florida, and a matter of fact, it's going to be shorter terms. What's wrong? They passed it 38-0.
Right.
So what was the problem with the House at least passing that, agreeing on that? And there's so many other things they could have agreed upon in piecemeal fashion. For example, like you just said, mandatory education.
Right.
Have a yes, up or down vote just on that. Both sides agree. Inspections, some type of inspection should be mandatory. Agree on that. I think both sides agree that reserves should not be waived completely.
But Eric,
so
if
try to work to get together on things. There were many things they could have agreed upon. Instead, they walked away from it with 2 full days to go.
But I don't think you can pass something that mandates inspections without having reserves there. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have an if-then. If you have the inspections, you're going to need a reserve. You know what I mean?
If you know what? If you're going to have the, so what do we do?
Because they're going to CYA, and you're definitely going to have your inspector go, oh, there's problems.
So is the answer to that simply let's not have any inspections at all and let the people die if the building collapses?
Well, no, I think they are doing inspections. Like I said, the Tequesta building, I think on their own without being legislated.
Right.
They are doing it, but, I don't know.
Again, there were 2 full days left. They could easily have gotten a lot done this legislative session, but they choked and they gave up and they walked away from it. And I'll tell you something, it's a stab in the back to the governor. Really, really bad thing that they did. And not just to the governor, but to the residents in condos in the state of Florida.
I mean, half the state lives in either a condo or an HOA.
Exactly.
11 million people.
Yep, I agree. But, not only that, it's a stab in the families of the Champlain Towers and to really everybody who lives in a Florida condominium. So I'm not buying the excuse. Plenty of time. Could have fixed this easy. Still could fix it, probably over a phone call or a meeting with a few hours with a mediator in there. But instead, there's no give and take. So the whole state had to suffer. That's the bottom line.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a sticky subject, but we tried to get something done, and we'll see. There still could be a special session. Why do they always need special? Why don't they make the sessions longer?
Right.
So they can get their work done.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, some states have year-round legislatures, right? Year-round. They're actually working year-round, and they get real salaries for it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But here in the state of Florida, the legislature is open for like 3 months.
And
that's
then,
it.
And they
go
get done when they get
home
done.
And we start worrying about it next year. Think about it. That was probably the same thing we did when Florida had a population of 2 million.
Right.
Right. Now we're at what, 22 million or 19 million or whatever the hell we're at, and we still have a legislature that operates only 3 months a year.
The Supreme Court can operate that way, and they can pick and choose which things they want to address. But you can't have lawmakers doing that.
I completely agree. Agree.
Let's get back to tax season now. HOAs have to file a tax return every year.
Yeah, absolutely. Condos and HOAs, a lot of you don't get it, but you are required to file a federal tax return every single year, even though you're a not-for-profit corporation. And Karen, you'd be surprised how many times I meet with people from a board and they'll give me that deer in the headlight look, like they had no idea that they had to file a federal tax return for all these years.
So what happens if they haven't done it?
Time to go to the accountant, and now the accountant has a lot of splaining to do to the IRS and a lot of forms to fill out. But even if you're not for profit, you have to do it. Remember, in your personal life, your tax return is kind of like a summary of how good or bad